Hi, hello, it's Sugar. Welcome to my boss guide for normal and heroic Artificer Xy'mox. This encounter cycles between two phases. At 75% and 50% the second phase begins. As the first phase repeats, rings will radiate in new combinations. Hero can be used on pull or during phase 2. Using it on pull may allow the raid to skip some mechanic overlaps, while using it on phase 2 could help lessen the damage taken from the raid-wide AoE if you're in that phase for a long period. The raid can position loosely to one side of the room to help bait the Continuum Stasis traps. These are thrown out on DPS and healers. In normal, they can be cleared using immunities, but in heroic, these traps are unclearable and will rearm themselves instead of disappearing after being triggered, making your positioning more important. Anyone caught in a trap will need to be DPS'd out. Everyone should avoid standing near the center and any areas designated for the Dimensional Tear ability. This is placed on the tank and one DPS or healer. One should always be placed in the very center of the room, and the other should go to a side or corner. These create portals between them that teleport players who enter and are needed to help dodge Genesis rings. These rings spawn from either the center of the room or the edge and will come in pairs as phase 1 repeats. If you look at the relic in the middle of the room, you can tell which way it will spawn by looking for the glowing circle animation. The circle moving down means it will spawn from the center, and up means it will spawn from the edge of the room. Wait for the ring to pass the Dimensional Tear, then use the other to teleport into the safe area. Anyone hit by a ring is one shot. After the rings, Glyph of Relocation will be getting ready to expire on a tank. This will grip the raid to the tank's current location. They will need to run away from the raid to a safe area that won't be hit by rings and is clear-ish of traps. Sometimes this overlaps with the rings, so it's important the tank is aware of when they are coming in to avoid wiping the raid. The tank will suffer from arcane vulnerability for 1 minute, increasing any arcane damage by 50% after this. Hyperlight Sparknova happens frequently throughout the fight and can overlap with the tank grip. This does damage to anyone in a 4-yard radius. The raid should stay spread by 4 yards at all times and quickly reposition after a grip. Gunship Barrage is present during both phases of this fight as white swirly circles. This fires randomly at players around the arena. Dodge this to avoid taking unnecessary damage. At 75 and 50% phase 2 begins. Xy'mox will begin to try to decipher the relic in the middle, putting a Genesis barrier on him, reducing all damage taken by 99%, and radiating the raid with damage from Genesis Supernova. Healers will need to rotate CDs here. The damage ramps up the longer the phase goes on. 2 types of adds are summoned during this. Defeating them is how you end the phase. The priority add here is the Z Acolyte. The raid should nuke this add before it can finish its Hyperlight Ascension cast. If the cast finishes, it will transform into an Archon and wipe the raid. This add needs to be tanked and will cast Massive Blast, a frontal cone, on its target. Tanks should swap on every stack while the raid avoids being hit. Interrupts will be needed on the second type of add, Spellslinger's Debilitating Ray cast. This channels damage into a target and reduces their movement speed. These spawn on the sides of the room. Assign some ranged interrupts to bring them in quickly. That's everything. Here's a TLDR. Hero either phase or wherever you struggle. Phase 1, place one Dimensional Tear in the middle and the other off to the side or corner. Use these to teleport to the safe area during Genesis rings. Bait Continuum Stasis traps to one side of the room. In heroic, they cannot be cleared with immunities. Stay spread by 4 yards for Hyperlight Sparknova. Avoid white swirls from the Gunship Barrage. Tanks run to a safe area before Glyph of Relocation expires. Phase 2 at 75 and 50%. Focus the Xy Acolyte first. Do not let it ascend. Avoid the tank Frontal. Use ranged interrupts on the Xy Spellslingers. Healers should rotate healing CDs here. I hope you enjoyed this boss guide, and if you did, check out my other videos for the rest of this raid here on my channel. Okay, bye!